Today we're going to talk about setting a Thanksgiving table using what you already have. This does not have to be an expensive process, and you don't have to have all of the fanciest dinnerware and china in order to have a beautiful table for your friends and family to enjoy this holiday. So stay tuned. I'm going to give you some tips. Welcome back to the Atmosphere Sessions. I'm Erica, and we are talking Thanksgiving table settings today. And no, you don't need a whole storage unit full of decor in order to make a beautiful table for your Thanksgiving feast. Let's look at some things that you already have and how we can use them in new and different ways to make a beautiful tablescape for everyone to enjoy. I'm going to walk you through the core principles that create atmosphere for your table, even if you only have everyday dishes and a few candles. Let's make this easy. Now, you don't need fancy china, 10 pieces of stemware, or fancy decorations in order to make a table beautiful. You just need to think about layers, and a layer can be as simple as a cloth napkin underneath a plate, or adding a cutting board in the middle of the table as a centerpiece for decorations. One little layer provides instant depth and interest. Now that we've talked about layers, let's talk about repetition. Repetition is the secret element of atmosphere. Think about candles in groups of 3, napkins that are all the same, or even using the same color over and over again. When your eye sees repetition, it reads intentional, not complicated. And these are all great things when you're trying to create a table setting that feels inviting and warm and like people want to stay for a while and chat. The last principle to think about is function first. A beautiful table that doesn't work is a photo. Make sure people can talk across your table, pass dishes easily, and set down drinks. People should feel like they have their own space and that everything isn't piled on top of itself. So remove things until the table feels breathable. Okay, now that we've talked about 3 guiding principles to think about with your Thanksgiving table, let's talk about how to actually execute a beautiful table using what you already have. Here are a few MVPs that will help you create a gorgeous tablescape. First, a single candle. That's right, even if you only have one candle, that one candle can create a beautiful statement. Don't worry if you don't have 3 groupings of 12 different types. You just need one candle, and it's beautiful and simple and elegant. I've mentioned this in past videos before, but I love using cutting boards as a simple anchor for any sort of centerpiece or even to place food on. Everyone has a cutting board of some sort. Use that as a replacement for something fancy, because you don't need fancy. You want something that looks intentional and simple and welcoming. One of the easiest ways to create color is to just incorporate a bowl of fruit. And this is especially true at Thanksgiving when you're talking about bounty and harvest. So fresh apples, even fresh lemons, anything that brings some spice and some color to the table setting will be much appreciated, and it's so simple and easy to do. Use cloth napkins if you can, or if you don't have cloth napkins, you can even use like a nicely folded dish towel as part of your centerpiece. That brings that extra layer in, different textures, a little bit of softness. I love including one piece of nostalgia in a Thanksgiving tablescape because Thanksgiving is all about things that you're thankful for and the people that make your life worth living. And so if you've got some family photos in little frames, those are adorable to add to a table setting. Use a favorite book that reminds you of how grateful you are for the life that you have. Here's where I bring in music energy, and I've created a Thanksgiving playlist for you over on my Spotify channel, which is House of Hanson Style. You can find it there, but you can create your own as well so easily, or records that you own that you just want to play in the background softly. Some kind of music that really ties into that warm feeling that Thanksgiving brings. That's what you want to focus on. Think about how you want your friends and family to feel when they sit down at the table. Do you want them to feel calm? Do you want them to feel relaxed? Do you want them to feel energized for some great discussion? Take that theme and build your playlist around it. So here's a really quick 10-minute atmosphere reset that anyone can do if you don't have time to develop a fancy tablescape. Step 1, clear everything off the table. Step 2, wipe it down so it's completely clean. Step 3, add one center anchor, like that cutting board we discussed, or maybe that bowl of fruit. Just one thing that can anchor your tablescape and provide a focal point of attention. Step 4, set the table, plates and napkins. You don't need anything fancy for that. And step 5, put on the playlist. And then you've got instant atmosphere. You're ready to entertain guests. Table settings don't have to be complicated. Start with layers, repetition, and function. Use what you already own. Let music lead the vibe. That's how you create a table that feels like you. Effortless, welcoming, and atmospheric. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you'll never miss a notification when I release a new episode. Thanks for joining me. Have a stress-free Thanksgiving holiday, and I'll see you next week.